There's no gimmicks. There's nothing fancy about it. It's straightforward. People need insurance. They don't know where to go. They don't know who to call. We speak a lot about that. This is a different demographic. And what I found was I was surprised actually when I got into business how many people are out there. They don't know who to go to. Because I came from a world where they had financial planners and I had resources to go. So these people are they're in the middle of the country. They're in rural areas and they just need help. And if you can just come in and show them something simple and give them and care about them, it's a very uncomplicated, simple sale.
All right, welcome to the next level. Got a special guest with me today, my man Nat Di Carlo. How we doing, Nat?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming up. Appreciate you coming in, Nat. What I want to talk about with you is, it's the next level. So we talk about sales here, the how-to, which is very important. If you haven't seen Nat's True Talk, check that out. But one of the things we were talking a lot about on your True Talk podcast was how simple this business is, right? It's simple, but like you put it well, anyone can do it, but not everybody will.
Right.
Like it doesn't discriminate. So if you're watching this, well, I don't have a sales background. I don't know anything about insurance. All that's fine. Mm-hmm. But are you willing to get up every day and work without being told to go to work? Right. Like you are self-employed. Mm-hmm. There's no boss here. I'm not going to call you every day. Sean's not going to call you. Your upline's not going to call you. It's on you to go out there and do what you need to do.
Absolutely.
That's a requirement. And the other thing is you have to actually care about people because we're selling life insurance.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. And our clients are middle America, lower middle class. Like we're not meeting with, you were a stockbroker.
Right.
You made $1 million at 30 years old. You wouldn't have been our client.
All right.
We weren't trying to talk to you. No offense. Like you have financial those are our clients are blue collar, middle American people that for decades, insurance agents didn't go out to meet with.
Right.
They're like,
right.
A lot of the stigma of an agent is usually the guy, 3-piece suit, pie charts, big old show, going to meet with you 2, 3, 4, 5 times to sell you one big policy,
right.
Which is not what we do.
Right.
You've been selling with us for about almost 5 years now?
4 years. Yeah.
4 years total. You've sold real estate. You've sold stocks. Mm-hmm. How does this compare to those two? Would you say this is a more personal sale than those or right up the same alley? Or
yeah, I think that I always say it's just more raw. It's just a raw sale.
Yeah.
There's no gimmicks. There's nothing fancy about it. It's straightforward. People need insurance. They don't know where to go. They don't know who to call.
Yeah.
We speak a lot about that. This is a different demographic. And what I found was I was surprised actually when I got into business how many people are out there that didn't know how to deal with their insurance. Yeah. They don't know who to go to.
Right.
Because I came from a world where they had financial planners and they had, I had resources to go. So these people are they're in the middle of the country, they're in rural areas and they just need help.
Yeah.
And if you can just come in and show them something simple and give them and care about them, it's a very uncomplicated, simple sale.
So like when you were in stocks, the people you were calling already had financial guys.
Yeah.
And
they were wealthy. I was dealing with, calling wealthier people. So they had other options.
So you really had to stand out. Almost.
Yeah. You had to stand out 100%. And when I started, I was 21. So standing out at 21 is difficult.
Yeah.
Trying to be an advisor and a financial advisor, but I made that work, but I had to learn how to make that work. Yeah. So this is different. You're not really selling anything. You're providing a very simple solution that people need and they've already requested. So it's a completely different animal. Yeah. Completely different.
It takes work though. A lot. Like you will hit, what do you think you'll finish at this year? You were right around 400 now. Will you hit 5?
Yeah, probably right in that area. 450,
550 last year. And then your best year with us, was it over 8?
Yeah, 860, I think it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
860,000. So really what I want to talk about with you, Nat, is what is the key to those types of numbers, right? Because there's a lot of new people starting with us now. It's late out, November by the time they're seeing this. So it's a perfect time for new people to get started, kicking off the new year. It's like a clean slate.
Yeah.
That's the thing too, is like once January 1st comes, this 400, 500 means nothing.
Right.
It's now clean slate, but you've been consistent. You've done this. This will now be your 5th year in a row at those types of numbers. So before we get into all the nuts and bolts, like in your opinion, what is key to hitting those numbers every year?
Well, the first thing is somebody has to figure out what they want to make.
Yeah.
And then you just need to back into it. This is it's a leads-based system for most people. Some people go out and referrals and that kind of thing. But 95% of us are going to be buying leads. You just have to figure out what your return on investment of your lead flow is. Typically, it's in the 3 to 5, even a little higher, depends on your sales skills. And then you just back into your numbers and figure out how many calls, how many appointments you're going to need to make to hit the revenue target that you want.
Yeah.
So I would say start with the top line, figure out what you want to make.
Okay.
Set a goal. And then once you figure out that goal, have your upline or have somebody help you figure out back into the numbers. And then you realize how much activity you have to put in to hit that. Because it's not complicated. The average, we know what our average ticket's going to be generally.
Right.
You just now need to figure out how many sales you need to make that goal, and then how many appointments you have to book to make those number of sales. It's math. It's just a big math equation.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is. It's not that complicated.
Yeah.
But then you have to put the work in.
That's the complicated
And you have
part.
to do it daily. Consistency. It's all about consistency. I think for people that come in here and think they're going to call for a couple hours today, maybe come in, the next day and do a couple hours, and maybe next week, doesn't work.
No.
You got to put in 8 to 10, 12 hours a day consistently to hit those kind of numbers.
Yeah, if you treat it like a hobby, you're going to get hobby results.
Yeah.
And I don't know anyone who makes money from their hobbies. They're usually...
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. And this is just business with chargebacks and all that, and the cycle, it just doesn't lend itself to being inconsistent. You have to just continue to keep selling and just do the daily work, and everything else falls into place.
Yeah. Let's talk specifically about what you're doing, because it's working. You're on the phones solely now, right? You're not going in home anymore.
All telesales, yeah. Correct.
All telesales. You've done both. You started out a few months in home. You've done some travel trips, but now you're all telesales.
Correct.
Kind of walk me through, I guess, your appointment. Like, what's important to you in the appointment? Is it, finding the client's why early on? Like, kind of bring me through your process, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe in the financial inventory side of things.
Okay.
But I don't take it to the degree probably some agents do, and that's okay. Everybody has their own style. I found on telesales, I want to be quick to the point.
Okay.
I don't want to keep people on the phone too long. So I do a very quick assessment of their financial situation, assessment of their needs. I try to come up with
right
that
off the bat,
right out of the bat, right out of the gate.
What do you lead with? Are you giving credentials or anything? Or
I don't.
No?
Okay. I only do it as needed. If somebody gives me balk, at banking or social, then I'll send over a thing of my clearance. But I don't lead with that. I just found it to be awkward for me.
Yeah.
I think it's fine if you do.
Sure.
But it's just not for
me. And that's
me.
what you'll learn with this. Whatever works for you.
Whatever works for you. Yeah. I think for some people, especially new, I think it gives them more confidence when they send over their credentials.
Right.
So that's fine. But for me, I'd rather not do that.
Okay.
It feels like it's a waste of time and goofy. So, I lead in and I try to get into the medical as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Because what's the sense of talking to somebody about all these different products when you know they're not going to qualify?
Right.
So I get into the medical right out of the gate, and then I kind of circle back into the financial. And then I figure out what their needs are, and then I'm already doing recommendations while I'm talking to them on the phone.
You set expectations early on, so as soon as the call, do you let them know what's about to happen?
Yeah, but I don't go into a lot of detail. I simply say, hey, this is Nat. I'm getting back to you on the form you filled out. Today, I'm just going to try to figure out which carrier and what options are going to be most appropriate for you. We work with a ton of carriers, and I'm here just to show you what your best options are.
Okay.
And I keep it pretty simple like that.
Are you doing one call close, or are you setting appointments?
Both.
Yeah. Okay.
Both. Mostly appointments. But I definitely do one call closes in there as well.
Got it. So you let them know, you let them know that, hey, I'm going to find some options for you. What's what fits your needs.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask you a few questions. I need to know a little bit about you. They're going to base it on your age and your health. So I need to know a little bit about your health, and I would go right into the medical.
Got it.
And I'm asking them about any major medical and what kind of prescriptions. And I don't get into too granular. I'm not looking for names of all their medications, just generally what their conditions are.
Yeah. And you just want to know what you can write them.
Yeah. So as I'm going through that, as soon as they tell me they've had a heart attack in last year, I already know what I'm doing. I can start putting quotes in as I'm talking to them about the rest of it. I'm not wasting their time.
Yeah.
And I'm not too granular. I don't get into the weeds too much. And that's just my personal preference.
Yeah.
But for other people, for other agents, that's fine.
Right.
If you got to dig out that why and really get in there, if you got to figure out their cell phone bill and their electric bill and figure out what their budget is, that's fine. That works. That's fine. But that's just not for me.
That doesn't work for you.
No.
So you got their health down, okay, I can write America, I can write this one. Right. Where do you go from there? What are you showing them for options? Because that's a piece too that I think sometimes it's a learning curve, right? Yeah. Like, what do I show? I don't want to show too much. I don't want to show too little. I don't want to show too many options because now your head's, I've been there early on where I have 8 options for you. And now you're like, I don't even know. I always found 3. I show you 3, you pick one. What works for you over the phone?
Yeah. So for me, early on, I found that giving options was a mistake for me.
Okay.
I'm all about one recommendation.
Really?
And I live and die by it.
Okay. So
Um,
how do you get to that one recommendation?
they tell me what they need. They tell me their health, and I'm going to come up with a solution that I think is right for them. I'm
Gotcha.
not going to give them 2 or 3 choices typically. Now, that in a rare situation, I might give them a different level of coverage
Okay.
to give them a pricing differential. But I'm not going to give them a term option, a whole life option, a universal life option. I'm not going
Sure.
to confuse them. That doesn't work for me.
Got it.
I take the position that I'm in charge. I know more than they do, and I'm going to
Sure.
make a recommendation. It may not be the right recommendation, but in my opinion, that's the best recommendation.
Yeah. So what goes into this recommendation, and how do you come up with the amount and the number?
Well, random mortgage protection makes that a little easier because you typically ask them what their mortgage is, how much their payment is, so you kind of have an idea of what you're trying to cover. With IUL leads and ethos leads and different general leads, you have to kind of fish that out. And so I ask them point blank, how much coverage are you looking for? Why are you looking for that much coverage? Do you have a large debt? Do you have kids in college? Why do you need the insurance? And they'll tell you.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's just simply go and find the best solution for them.
Do you find sometimes that maybe they think they need more,
Yeah, I talk people out of too much coverage.
Okay.
I have done that. You know, sometimes they have this huge number, and I really break it down. Why do you really need that much? And sometimes I tell them they need more. It just really depends on the conversation and what they're trying to accomplish. But that's just years of doing financial planning and my background. I have that kind of that ear for what they're looking to do.
And I'm assuming when they tell you how much they pay for their mortgage, you also from there can kind of, I guess gauge.
I do.
Hey, if their mortgage is $1,200, I'm not going to go, your premium is going to be $500. Like, are you using that as
I do. I use 2 things. I use their mortgage, and I already know it's somewhere in the roughly 10% of that mortgage is probably kind of a max premium that I think they're going to be able to bite off. I think that's a good number for people to look at.
Yeah.
And I look at their income. If he's making $2,000 a month, I want to come in at roughly 5% of that. I don't want to be 10% of his income,
right?
Because you're going to just get blown out. It's going to be too high.
Absolutely.
So I definitely look at that. But I don't get into the weeds on their inventory. I don't want to know their actual budget. I just want to know their income, their mortgage balance, and then I make a recommendation.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're getting to the same spot.
Yeah.
It's just for, like you said, for some people, like I never use financial inventory.
Yeah.
I was always, I did 3 options, but the same product.
Yeah.
It would not be term. If we're doing mortgage protection, I'd go, hey, the full mortgage is this. Yep. The full mortgage with return of premium is this. Right. And then, maybe half the mortgage is here. Yep. That was it.
Yeah. And I'll do that. I'll take that one leg further. If it's a mortgage and he's got a $300,000 mortgage and he's got a $2,000 a month payment, I may not give him 3 options. I may already say, hey, let's cover half of this mortgage. We'll do the other half with an accidental policy because you're young, and just in case something happens. Because I know if I come in with a $400 or $500 a month premium, he's going to balk. So why even do it? Yeah. So I just come in low, and that generally works.
So the best policy is one that sticks for a lot of reasons. Yeah, for you and the client.
Definitely.
I would always tell my clients, like, my job is to get you what fits your needs and your budget. Because if I get you something that you can't afford, you sign up today, you cancel tomorrow. Now you're back in the same boat.
Yep.
You have no coverage. I didn't get paid.
Right.
We both are at a loss.
Absolutely.
And you're not going to have someone else come back in after this.
I'm a firm believer in underselling if you can.
Yeah.
It just makes more sense for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah. Were you like that from day one? Or was this?
Yeah, no, I was. Yeah. I when I realized the kind of market that we were dealing with and the demographic, when I was out doing those travel trips and seeing where people live and what was going on, I could tell that $100, $200, $300 a month was a lot to people.
Right.
And I was like, I got to be careful here. I'm not coming in with $500-$600 a month.
Because you could talk somebody into anything.
Yeah, I could do that. Definitely.
Especially when you have a couple. It's always the guy's not going to tell you he can't afford it in front of his wife. There's pride, the whole thing. But I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been there with the 3 options, and I know they want to go with the middle one or the cheaper one, but then they go, "Well, I'm not sure." So I would just, hey, which one would you not want to do any less than today? Like the bare,
that's a good one,
and then they always go to the middle.
Always.
We'll start there.
Right.
Hey, you can increase it. You can add more down the road, but right now you have nothing. Yeah. Your mortgage is $250. We're going to cover $125. Yeah. You die, she's not going to lose the house. Right. We got options versus you have this, you don't have this, you have nothing.
Absolutely.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's you're a problem solver.
Yeah, what you don't want to do is embarrass somebody. Your husband, he might be embarrassed if you throw out a big premium, and he wants to do it, but he knows it's just not gonna work.
Absolutely.
And so you just want to be very cautious of that. I think
we're selling peace of mind at the end of the day.
100%.
Our job is when we leave that house to put that client in a better position, but also give them that peace of mind that when something happens, because we're all going to die.
Yeah.
When something happens, the family's not in a bad spot financially. At least,
Definitely.
you know, I'm sure you've had death claims.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. You remember your first one?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
What was
it's
that
real,
like?
especially because I was running in the field. So you meet these people,
Yeah.
and you see them, and it's like, wow, it's just.
Oh, your first one was someone you met in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first several, and it's a little different over telesales, so you don't know them as well.
Yeah.
But everyone counts. You know, you're like, wow, I just sold out somebody some coverage, and they're gone.
Yeah. How much does it change your perspective on
A
what we
lot.
do? Because it's easy. Like if I recruit you now and I tell you that, hey, I had a death claim, this is what we do.
Yeah.
You're hearing it, you understand, but until you experience it,
yeah,
it's a little different.
Well,
right?
also the people that called and they were so grateful that they had the coverage.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, you're actually making a difference there, even though it's a $10,000, $15,000 policy. It's a big impact for some people, and that hit me.
Yeah. I think it changes the way you deal with clients moving forward, right?
Yeah.
Because it is when you, especially with as much as you write, it's easy to get caught up in this. But it's just a process. It's transactional. Yeah. It's just almost tunnel vision. It's leads, dials, sales. And when something like that happens, I feel like everything kind of stands still for a minute, and you realize
it does, and it also gives you more conviction that when you're pushing people to make a decision, you don't feel like you're pushing to be pushy. You're actually you're trying to help them because they really want the coverage, and they need it. So it gives me the reason to push a little harder sometimes.
Yeah. So after your first one, would you say you pushed a little more?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I felt like, all right, if I don't push, what if they really needed that?
Right.
And they're just a little outside their comfort zone. If I push them just a little bit, I don't try to push. I'm not too pushy, but just a little bit. One more, two more objections, try to handle it. Then you might save somebody, and that's important.
Because at the end of the day, if we don't protect these families we're talking to, maybe I just sold myself on this when I was in the field, but I do believe that if they meet with me, they're probably not going to meet with somebody else.
Right.
They've seen it now. They've seen how much it costs.
Yeah.
They know all the ins and outs. Like if you did a good job of explaining it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, and I always blame myself if I screw it up, because think about it. Your lead, Nat, you expressed interest in life insurance.
Right.
Whether it was a direct mail lead, whether it was an ad on Facebook, you saw something, you read it, you clicked on it, you put all your information in there. You then answered the phone when I called.
Right.
If we had an appointment, you then showed up to the appointment.
Yeah, you're serious.
You're serious.
Yeah.
And then you don't get a policy. Well, who is the variable?
Yeah,
me.
Right.
I screwed something up. So I convinced myself that if I didn't help you with a policy, I messed up.
Yeah. That's a good point. I think you're right.
You right? I mean,
you either didn't do you didn't offer what they needed, or you oversold them.
Sure.
Or your personality just rubbed them wrongly, or something. Something was, you probably did something.
It's on
wrong.
me. So in some way, shape, or and I think if you can accept that, it's easier to be successful here. Because if it's the leads, now when you were when you were selling stock, you're cold calling.
Right.
It's pretty easy to go, dude. They're not even the leads. It's the people.
They weren't even leads because they didn't request anything. You're just calling out of the phone book and just wondering if they want to invest. You don't even know anything about them. You don't know. They don't know anything.
No interest. They didn't say call me. Yeah. So if you're doing that, it's hard to go, I screwed it up. Well,
yeah, that's just more transactional. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But here, if it's lead based, high intent leads, if you call someone and don't help them with a policy, you screwed something up.
Yeah.
And I think that people are sometimes hesitant to accept that. Because if I can blame an outside source, then I never fail.
But you can't get too discouraged with that, because a lot of people are going to just say no, and that's not because they don't even want it. It's just the input, some people just can't make a decision.
Right.
So yeah, it's partly your fault, but you can't let that bog you down. That's why you have to have more numbers. You just have more opportunities. Because some people you're not going to be able to convince no matter what.
Oh yeah, you can't live in that space of, oh my God, it's so bad. But it's like, if I can accept that, if I didn't help it, it's on me. I need to move on to the next one. But hey, what can I change?
Yeah, get better.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. We all can get better. You get better every day. Like it's a learning process. But I feel like once you've done it enough, like you've been here almost 5 years. When you get on the phone now, I doubt you run into a situation that you don't know what to do.
No, they're all.
You've seen them all.
I would say we talked earlier, 100 appointments.
Yep.
You're going to see everything.
Absolutely.
Maybe one case once in a while, but most everything you're going to see.
Yeah.
And that first 30 days for me, though, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I had financial experience. I was a financial planner. I had all, but I didn't know the carriers. I didn't know the options. I didn't know what products. I didn't know anything.
Right.
But it took, 30 days, you know everything. All the medical conditions, you're going to hear the same thing over and over again.
All the same excuses of this. I just bought the house. I don't know my bill. You're going to hear the same stuff.
Same stuff.
What do you like? What's your favorite objection to deal with? Where you go, that one's easy.
I mean, they're all the same. It's all the same answer. Perfect. That's why I'm getting back to you. I'm not interested. Perfect. That's why I'm getting back to you.
Yeah.
I just need to close out your file, and then you try to find a way into some other need that they're not thinking about. They're all the same. I don't want the coverage. I already took care of it. I didn't fill it out. It's the same response on every objection.
Yeah.
You're just trying to find a little angle. Oh, you took a policy out. Okay. Well, what company was that? Well, I don't remember. Oh, okay. So you sure you took the policy out? Because I don't think you did.
Right.
And you're just trying to find a way in so that they think, okay. Because most people, when you call them, they're already on edge.
Yep.
They want to say no. It's just human instinct to say no. And especially on the first call.
Yep.
So if you know that ahead of time, then you're just trying to find a little angle to make them take a breath and go, okay, I really did want that insurance. I really did request it.
He's trying to get them talking.
Some stranger just called me. I'm going to say no.
Sure.
So if you can get to that next level, that's where all the money's to be made.
Right. And the key is not taking anything that they say
personally. Yeah.
Right. Like, they don't know you.
We used to have to make a game out of this, back when you're cold calling on the phone book. I mean, you literally would make a game out of it. And people would slap you down and you'd laugh and, you'd call back and get on their case. But here, it's not, most people have requested it.
Right.
So don't take it personally if they hang up. They don't, that's just human nature.
They might just be having a bad day.
They might be having a bad day. That's true.
They're
and so call them back because they might be having a bad day.
And is it that crazy to think that somebody filled this out online 3 or 4 or 5 or even 3 weeks go by and they legit forgot they filled it out?
Of course.
Like,
especially the internet ones. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, they filled it out. I'm not saying when they say that, hang up, but don't get all, well, you filled it out, Nat. Just go, I know how it is. I fill out a lot of stuff too. But would it make sense that you saw something online about life insurance and you were just trying to get some information?
Absolutely.
You just go back.
That's it. You just try to go one layer deeper than that first initial, that first reaction is negative.
Yeah.
And if you can just get them talking and just be comfortable about that, then you're going to book a lot more appointments. Yeah, for sure.
You can't let that phase you.
Right.
The minute you get upset or you kind of meet them where they are at that point, you're done.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't remember filling out? You just might as
well. But the good thing is you just go to the next one, even if that does happen.
Yeah.
We all have our moments. You don't even have to be great on the phone. You just have to be consistent.
Correct.
It helps to be good. It helps for sure. And you can become good even if you're not experienced. You can become good over time, but it's actually not even necessary. Right. The first 30 days, you could be completely green and still make a sale.
Sure. I mean, I think there's a third of the clients are just going to buy.
They're going to buy. That's absolutely right.
There's a third of the people that filled out these forms or whatever.
And there's a third that are never going to buy.
There you go.
And so you got to find the ones in the middle and convert
That's
those.
where you make your money.
Yeah. If you can convert the ones that are in the middle, then you're good.
Yep. Yeah. Because even though a third will buy, if you only sold that group of people, you're going to go broke.
Yeah, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
Yeah, you got to get your return on investment. You're going to have to get that other middle group.
So that middle group for you, Nat, what is key to turning that middle group to getting them across the finish line?
I think you need to keep your script really, really simple. I think you need to just keep it very unscripted.
Yeah,
and just call like a regular dude. If you can do that and learn that skill, everything will fall into place.
I'd almost hate to call it a script.
Yeah,
so people hear a script, they think you got to say everything. And it's not, would you agree? It's not what you're saying. It's not, how you're saying it.
It's how you're saying it, 100%.
Like, how would you describe your attitude on the phone?
I'm really nonchalant and not that interested.
Yeah.
And I found that works the best.
Absolutely.
I think that people they're more receptive when you're like that versus, hey, I'm calling you. Hey, how you doing?
Right.
Just, hey, this is Nat. I'm just getting back to you on the stuff that you filled out. Just keep it real simple.
Like, you almost want them to think they know you.
Yeah, and I think early on when I was watching all the training videos, I don't remember who was saying it, but it was like almost pretend like you're just an administrative worker and you're not. You hate your job. You're not really interested in doing this. It's something you got to do.
Right.
And I think that I would train agents more on that than being too excited.
Right.
This is what I'd say. Try to find that happy medium where
You
it's
don't want to
yourself.
sound like a telemarketer.
You don't want to sound like a
Hi,
telemarketer.
Mr. Di Carlo. How are
Right.
you today? Hang
Exactly.
up.
Exactly.
If you say hello, if the name on the lead is Nat
Yeah.
and you say hello, I hear a male's voice, I'm just going to assume it's you.
Right.
Hey, Nat.
Exactly.
Well, what if it's not? Okay. Hey,
And
can I
you
speak
got
to
to be
Nat?
real assumptive. Like I am real assumptive. Like these people want this coverage.
Right.
I'm not, hey, are you really interested in this? Are you sure you want this? No, I know you filled this form out. So let's just get down to business.
Mm.
How's your health? What's your medical condition? See what I can do for you.
Yeah. The assumptiveness is huge. And I remember when I first started, I was at home dialing. Sean gave me a batch of leads, Nat, the office batch, you know,
yeah, they already
the one everybody called on. You know?
I hear you.
And you know, Sean.
I
Sean's
do,
like,
yeah.
oh, you're gonna make some sales. It was a great batch of leads. It was the best batch of leads ever.
Right.
Okay, sure. So he gives it to me, and he's like, I've never sold anything. I've never been in sales, never called anyone. He said, call the leads, and then when you're done, give me a call. Let me know, so I can walk you through what to do next.
Mhm.
Okay. I probably made like, I don't know, 10 calls maybe, spoke to like 3 people. They hung up. The usual bullshit you get when you first start, right? So I'm thinking, I'm going to call Sean back and we're going to go over the objections I got. We're going to go over the I'm not interested. We're going to go over I didn't fill it out. And he's going to tell me what to say so I can, then book appointments because I've never done this before.
Right.
So I call him. He's like, how'd you make out? How many appointments you book? None. Well, how many did you speak to? I tell him. He's like, well, you guys talk to more than that. He said, do me a favor. You got a mirror? I'm like, yeah. And go to your bathroom mirror, hang up with me, grab the stack of leads, hold them up in front of the mirror, and tell yourself that everybody that filled these out asked for help. Tell yourself that you're going to call them up and you're going to book appointments. You're going to go to their house and meet with them. Like the point was convince yourself first.
100%.
It's like on True Talk, we had a Nas in his testimonial, and he said, close yourself on your business first.
Right.
And in a nutshell, I think that is the first step.
Yeah.
If I don't believe that I can help these clients, I shouldn't pick up the phone.
Yeah. True, but also it takes you 30 to 60 days to figure that out and get that confidence. So you can beat yourself up in the first 30 days, but don't just keep dialing because you're going to get better at it. And after you run enough appointments, you're going to have all that confidence.
Right.
So yeah, if you have it up front, great.
Sure.
And you can fool yourself and trick yourself better. But even if you don't, you can still succeed here.
The numbers.
It's a numbers game.
Yeah.
And these, like you said, a third of the people want covers no matter what you do. I screwed up many appointments early on. Wrong carrier, wrong pricing, didn't do the application right. And they still were there to buy it, So it can work either way.
I remember a guy years ago, he went out with no applications. He wrote everything down in a notepad.
Oh, wow.
God was like literally had no idea. Yeah, I closed them all. You're like, no, dude, you got to fill out the applications.
Right.
Oh man, and went back out with it. But he had the confidence though.
Yeah.
He knew I was going to help these clients, and I think at least understand who our clients are is a big piece that helps you get to that.
Yeah.
I agree. The numbers, you have to put up the numbers.
Yeah.
You can sit here and talk to yourself in the mirror for 3 days straight, but until you put in the activity, that's why it's both. It's the attitude and activity.
Attitude and activity. I guess Sean came up with that. Whoever came up with that is absolutely right.
We'll give him credit. I'm sure it was someone else somewhere before, but we stole it and we ran with it. So
it's the absolute truth.
Yeah.
There's no other way around it.
And I think anything in the business where if you're not having the success that you want, look at those two things.
Yeah.
The attitude and one of them is going to be lacking.
Right.
Right. Like early on, yes, have the activity, but you got to start working on this and understanding that everyone I'm talking to asks for help and I am the one that's going to help them.
Yeah.
I love what you said about your process. You know that you know more than the client.
Yeah, I think that's important. Even for somebody like this younger kid at 19, you still know more. You still know because you've got your license. You've studied. You have access to carriers. They don't know anything. Our clients don't know anything for the most part.
Yep.
So act like the expert.
Yeah. Before you run your first appointment,
and they'll respect you if you come in with a recommendation. You're convicted. Have conviction.
Absolutely.
They'll respect you much more.
100%. And the minute you get your license, you know more than any client.
Right.
So I haven't done this for a long time yet. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
To your point, you studied, you understand insurance, you understand what the state wants you to know before you can actually sell a policy.
Plus, you have your upline and other resources here that you know more because you can ask and get the answers.
Right.
So you have all the resources to make you more knowledgeable than your clients.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So even to this day, Nat, when you get on the phone with someone, your mindset, do you believe 100% you're going to help this client?
Every call
Every
is
call.
like that. Every call.
Yep. Do you help 100% of them?
No, not even close.
So
it's
what
a
do you
very
do?
smallest percentage.
Right.
I mean, it's very small.
This may be a dumb question, but I think there's a lot of people that, well, if I convince myself I'm going to help them, what if I don't? So how do you then say you don't help someone?
So the first thing you should do is you should assess what you did, have somebody tell your upline what happened and say, well, did you do something wrong? Maybe you didn't. Maybe it was just simply they weren't going to buy no matter what you did. If you did something wrong, learn from it so you don't do it the next time. But if you didn't, then it's just a numbers game.
On.
You got to just get the numbers in your favor.
I think early on we spend too much time. Yes, assess what happened, but if you've not ran 100 appointments yet, don't assess it for that long.
No, don't. I tell a couple when I have hired a few agents and I say you don't need to worry about it. All I want to know about is your activity the first 30 days. I don't need to teach you how to sell the first 30 days.
Right.
Just get the activity up. You'll automatically learn how to sell.
Yeah.
By running more appointments.
100%. You know how I learned how to swim, Nat?
Just by jumping in.
My dad threw me in the pool when I was real young.
Right.
Now he jumped in after me. So don't, oh my God, he tried to kill you. No, he jumped in after me.
Right.
I started flapping around, dude. Next thing you know, I was swimming. It's like, holy shit. I guess sink or swim, right?
Yep, absolutely.
But it's kind of the same thing here. Just do it.
Yeah, it's not easy to convince somebody to do that, though.
No.
That's the rub. That's the hard part.
That is the rub.
Yeah.
and that's why, like, we said several times, it's anybody could do this, but most people will not.
Will not do it, yeah.
And I guess that's why the upside is so high.
I'm glad it's that way because that helps us have more people to sell.
100%.
Yeah, that makes my job easier.
Yep. And I mean, this is the only thing I've sold legally anyway, Nat. But it's a very rewarding sale.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking anyone that sold anything else, but like I don't know how you get passionate about selling a vacuum cleaner or, or new window. Hey, listen, I'm not knocking anybody's hustle.
Right.
But if I don't get the replacement windows, okay, maybe my heating bill, is still where it's at.
Get your per death claim, you realize how important it is.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't get the life insurance, my family's screwed.
Yeah.
Our clients
we
deal with.
And that's something I had to learn. I didn't realize that. I wasn't used to that demographic. So it's when I'm speaking to somebody about a $20,000 policy, I know it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it's to me or, on the surface, but it's a big deal if it comes through when something happens. That's probably their existence.
My first death claim I delivered was like 20, 30K and that it might as well have been $30 million.
Right.
You
exactly.
know what I mean? It had that same impact, which I felt amazing to be able to, number one, put the policy in place because the guy wanted nothing to do with it. And it was like, I wish I could like, record. I wish I could have recorded this and show agents to this day. Like the wife wants him to have it. He wants nothing to do with it. Right. They're going back and forth. I'm in the middle. It's chaos.
We've all had those. Yeah.
We all had those. Then by the time I'm leaving, they're hugging me. They're feeding me this, and that. And then 2 years almost to the day, it was like a week before the 2-year policy anniversary, he passes. Right. Wife calls me. So it's in the contestability period. We did everything right. So it paid, but it took a little bit. And then I got to go out and literally hand her a check. And she gave me the biggest hug I think I've ever had from a client. Yeah. Then she got another policy on herself and then insured her son, and it's like, can't take the fact that he passed, but that, I think it was 25, 30K. Yeah. That was life-changing for them. If they didn't have that, they would have lost that house. Mm-hmm. He was older. He was probably 65, 70. They still had a mortgage, refi. It was one of those, like, you're not getting a term. We can't cover the whole mortgage, but hey, we can do this 30K. And your loan was like 100 and change. Mm-hmm. Now she has options. She's still in the house to this day, dude.
That's great.
That's
good stuff.
It is. And it just reminds you of like, everyone that fills out one of those forms could have been this client, and that's why it's a big deal what we do.
Yeah. You just got to press a little deeper sometimes.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Well, Nat, I appreciate you coming and doing this.
All right.
Guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we do this podcast every Friday. And then we have True Talk every Tuesday. And, people ask, well, how do I get on the podcast? Well, you have to sell a lot. And what I said to you when we first met, I've been seeing your name for years, Nat, and I'm glad you finally came up and we got to meet you.
My pleasure.
And it's awesome because it's so funny, the contrast. I had a Nas on here a couple weeks ago. He's 19.
Right.
How old are you, Nat?
55.
55.
Yeah.
So if you go, I'm too old to do this. Nat's 55 and he sells more than most people in this company.
Yeah.
It does not discriminate.
It's exciting business for everybody, any age.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, thanks for coming up, Nat. Guys, if you haven't already, go to fflconvention.com, get registered for the next event. We will be there at the end of January. Are you looking forward to this event, Nat?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I got to be there.
You've been to how many now? 4?
This will be the 4th, yeah.
Yeah. And you even went before you were making all this money.
I did, yeah. Before I even got started, I went and checked out a couple things just to see. And,
oh, really? Before you even got started?
I did, yeah. I was thinking about coming on board, and I went to one of the events in LA at the Dream Center, and that was a big deal for me to go see how so many people winning. It was pretty exciting.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and there's room for more.
That's right.
Well, Nat, thanks again. Guys, thanks for watching. You know where to find us every week right here on The Next Level. We'll see you next week.